Y'all gotta do the history on the kid LAZ. You heard, if you need them rap collabs, get at me, bro. I got you for the low.
Where people cannot tune out of this shit.
Yeah.
And your shit do 5 million views at $30 per 1,000 views.
I can't even do that math off the top of my head right now.
That shit, you will be kicked the fuck up. Damn. Off of a free movie on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's where the bag is at, bro. This podcast shit is in it too.
Yeah.
It's paper in this podcast shit. Shit'll make you a millionaire. You feel me?
Yeah.
But if, bro, you do it, people love free movies, bro.
Oh,
you do a free movie that's high quality, street real shit with crazy features in it from rappers and, bro, and you put that shit on YouTube for 2 hours, you might ride off into the sunset. And that's my next move. Damn. I want to do a New York street movie.
Bro. Yeah.
Get some funding for this shit because it will earn bread, bro.
Yo, if you need any actors, let me know. I'm available.
Like, yo, I have no problem. I'll put whoever in the movie.
Yeah.
We just need some fucking funding so that we could really film this shit.
Hell yeah.
Because to film a movie, you got to stop doing everything else you're doing. Yeah. So I got to fall back from my YouTube grind. I got to fall back from everything and just say, I'm in these streets with this movie.
Right, yeah.
We got to get these scenes right. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And that should take time. That's why movies be taking years. Right. You feel what I'm saying? But as far as I don't want to be, if a person be like, yo, if I need a person, like, yo, I'm all the way in Connecticut, bro. It's going to take me 6 hours. I want to be able to say, I'm sending you an Uber, nigga. $200 Uber. Get to the scene. Right. You understand? I don't want nothing slowing down these shots.
Right.
You feel me? And I want to dress you. Wardrobe from head to toe. You understand what I'm saying? I got a vision for this shit. I want you pulling up in this particular car. I got a vision for this shit. You feel what I'm saying? And of course, I'll cut as many corners as I can. But you still need bread to put this shit into action, to make people motivated.
Yeah.
You heard?
Yeah.
Badass, broad actress, you know what I mean? Romantic interest. I need you here. I need you booked on these 4 dates, there for 4 hours. We in the city with the lights and camera. And when you pull them cameras out, I'm going to tell you something, bro. Cameras are magical. When you pull them when you got a big, serious camera with serious, you will be surprised what you will attract. People will come up to you like, I'm down to get in this shit. What's up? And you'll get the perfect. It's times I went outside with just a camera. Like I go in the hood, I be in the projects, and I just come outside with the camera and the light. And dudes be like, yo, lad, what you doing? I'll be like, I don't know, bro. What you want to do? And before you know it, we filmed the episode of a web series that night. Because cameras, when you bring the camera out, it will attract what you want. Some way, somehow. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
You just got to be in it.
Can I tell you? Bro. I was not like attracting what you want, but it was kind of funny because people do definitely react to the camera, right? So one night I was at a venue that won't be named, and they were getting harassed by the local police, and they were harassing this place basically. They were, had half the department sitting outside. They were doing like all types of crazy shit. And everybody was talking about it. Like, you know what I'm talking about already. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me pop out this camera real quick. Popped it out, turned it on, put the lens on there. Before I can even put it on them, every one of them was fucking gone. And it was
talking about the cops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cops they were done.
They did not want to be on camera at all. They wanted to be there to harass
venue,
people.
Bro. There's fucking
They wanted to be there to harass people, but the second that they were going to be put on camera and probably put onto a video for what they were doing, they didn't want to be there no more.
To be fair, that venue just shut down in Buffalo.
Yeah, so. That's true. So
literally like 2 weeks.
I just thought it was funny,
Yeah, man.
You're right,
but it kind of goes to the effect of pulling out that camera.
Everybody, you know what I mean? Shit. If you got a crazy camera, like something crazy that look crazy, you can get into anything, bro. You walk up to that shit with that camera, they like, this way, sir. Because they think
Yo,
you
for
media.
real.
Right.
They see that fucking $7,000-$8,000 camera. They like, this dude is media. Let him in. You feel
Yep.
me?
Yeah.
So you could get yourself into a lot of shit with just having a great camera
Oh yeah.
and a good setup where your shit looking crazy. You feel me? Straight up. If I take my Black Magic out, I got a nice little lens, nice little crazy lens on that shit, some lights, my tripod. I put that shit on the block, bro. Every 2 seconds, somebody gonna come up to you and be like, yo, what y'all doing? You're doing a movie, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? You will meet connects all night long.
Yeah.
You feel me? People will come up to you, yo, I'm an actor. I act. You feel me? Take my card.
Right, yeah.
Straight up. It's real. What time we looking like? You still got some hours or what?
Oh, you good? I was just.
Yeah, we got more than enough
my
time.
shit was vibrating. I was like
Okay.
making sure it wasn't anything important.
Yeah, bro.
So I gotta look through this list and talking about what we
Yeah,
didn't talk about
It's
because you
funny
kind of
because
got
all the
into
shit we
everything.
got into, bro. Like, I didn't know none of that shit, bro. So like, it's nice to talk about like that comedy series sounds super dope. The fucking movie sounds incredible, bro. Like it really.
You know what I
know,
wonder?
We love movies like that, bro. Like
Definitely.
all the classics, bro.
It's my dream, bro.
Every single motherfucking classic. I don't care what it is.
It's my new dream, man, to just film us an independent YouTube movie. That's fucking crazy. You heard? And it don't gotta be all super professional because, believe it or not, when your shit look a little underground, it makes people love it even more. It's like some street shit. You feel me? It should be fire. Sound, audio, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Your audio gotta be crisp.
Yeah, for sure.
You feel me? You get your shit, but you keep it a little street on purpose. I got a weird filming style. Like I make mockumentaries where the way I film, that shit looks real. People be thinking it's real. I used to do a web series called NYPD Daily Blotter. I used to film in indictment projects. And bro, people thought it was real shit. I used to have to tell people, yo, bro, this is just acting. You feel me? Like for real. People was calling my mother, yo, your son is gonna get killed out here. He's gonna go to jail. He's getting killed. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm filming shit is fucking. I'm doing fake gunshots and shit like that, but it looks so real that people couldn't tell. Slow people couldn't tell whether that shit was real or not. You feel me? And then it started influencing people to really do shit. So I fell back from the shit. You feel me? But I film in that style. So when I do a movie, bro, trust me, it's gonna be ugly, bro. It's gonna be ugly. I would love to do this movie. I would love to. Shit is called Pocket Watches. It's crazy. You feel me? It's about an independent artist that learns that you really can't intertwine the streets with the music industry. It doesn't work out. You feel what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And the shit is crazy, bro. I mean, I would love to get it done. But maybe one day it'll happen. You feel me?
Say it, man.
It's gonna happen, brother. It's gonna happen because you push in so much with your content and shit, bro. And you're already basically successful off of your social media right now. So the only way is up for you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it, man.
That's just a
Appreciate it.
fact, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
That's
appreciate
just really
it.
what it is. Great things happen to great people. You know what I'm saying? And you've been through a lot in your life, so like all it takes is just the hard work that you're putting in, and you're gonna see results. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, though. Appreciate that.
Hell yeah, bro. I think we were gonna ask some questions about. I didn't know how deep you wanted to get into stuff, but obviously we're talking about the prison stuff and shit a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about like what happened, like why you got arrested originally, or you don't want to get into it?
I got a series on my YouTube channel called Kids with Guns, and I'm like 3 episodes in where like I'm really doing the whole hour and a half episodes talking about my whole life story. And I kind of promised my channel that I'm going to reveal all the details to everything throughout this series. And I still got a couple of episodes to do. But when I was 16 years old, I was wrongfully charged with murder for accidental shooting in Brownsville, Brooklyn. And They tried to give me 25 to life for it. They didn't believe it was an accident. I fought in the court of law and proved that it was an accident. You feel me? And my charges was dropped down to manslaughter. And, you know, within my series, I'm going to get into the complete details of the shit because, you know, I'm associated with family members of the victim and shit like that. So I got to be respectful with how I reveal things and where I reveal things at.
Right.
But I was wrongfully charged with murder in the second degree at 16 years old. Now in New York, they don't even charge you as an adult until you're 18. But I was charged at 16 and sent to Rikers Island, and I almost lost my life to the New York State prison system. And luckily, I had witnesses on my behalf that proved that it was an accident in the court of law. And I ended up only doing 6 years instead of the 25 to life these people was really trying to turn my lights out to. You heard? So, you know, every day I wake up, I realize, because, you know, when you got 25 to life, they don't got to let you go after 25 years.
Right,
You go
yeah.
to a parole board, and if you have a serious crime, you may do an extra 12 or 14 years plus that, an extra 14 years after that 25. So, you know, if a dude got 25 to life, they probably going to do about 35 before they get out. You feel what I'm saying? So I wake up sometimes and I say to myself, I could not be in these streets right now. You feel me? If I wouldn't have proved that this shooting was accidental, I would be in them fucking mountains right now, still doing time and then coming home to life parole. So I'm very grateful just to even be out here.
Oh yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But I was charged with murder. I was sent to Rikers Island in C-74 in 1992 when Rikers Island was one of the most dangerous places in the world. You feel me? And I was sent upstate to state prison at 17. I turned 17 and they sent me to state prison where I ended up doing 6 years. I was in maximum security prisons, medium security prisons, and I basically grew up from 16 to 22. I was in the penitentiary. And, you know, I ended up coming home and being back and forth on Rikers Island and getting caught up in dumb shit until I decided to completely leave the fucking streets alone 100% and just pursue music and other shit. But for 6 years, I went through my hells, man, up top. You heard, I seen a lot of shit that a kid shouldn't see. I seen a lot of fucking violence. And, you know, I seen a lot of fucking black people incarcerated that shouldn't have been incarcerated. I seen motherfuckers who was doing 25 and 40 years for shit they didn't do. You feel me? I seen a lot of shit, you feel me? But I seen a lot of, you know, stabbings and cuttings and things of that nature, man, that, you know, you shouldn't really be experiencing at 17, 18. You should be home fucking living your life. You heard?
yeah.
But I was in the penitentiaries, charged as an adult. Like I said, they outlawed that shit now. So now you be in the juvenile system until you can be in the juvenile system up to 21.
Right.
But in my day, they was charging dudes straight as an adult at 16, where you could get life at 16. So when I went up to the maximum security prisons, like I remember one time, I was in a cell, was in Comstock. That's a state facility. Maximum facility is closed now, I think. But I was next door to a dude. He was a white kid from upstate New York. His name was Young. And he was a cool fucking dude. And, you know, at this time, you know, I'm 17 years old. We in the max jail. I get cool with this dude, Young. He's next to me. And, you know, he's just a funny motherfucker. Like, this dude is just cracking jokes all day. He making everybody time go by because he's such a funny motherfucker. And I got 6 years to do. I got a 3 to 9. I little did I know I would do 6 years off of that 3 to 9. You feel me? But one day I'm talking to Young and shit. Like, we became mad close. Like, you feel what I'm saying? He was from fucking trying to think of what part of upstate New York son was from, man. It was around Albany. But me and son talking one day, and I'm just like, yo, son, so, you know, well, we got to hook up in the streets, bro. Like, you my fucking nigga. We got to hook up in the streets, you feel me? So he like, yo, son, man, you feel me? I got 15 to life. Like, son is 16 or 17 at the time, my same age. He like, yo, I got 15 to life. I'm like, what? He may even have more time, bro. You know, I could be wrong about the 15. He could have had more than that. But he like, yo, I ain't never going home, bro. You feel me? He was locked up. Then he told me he was locked up for strangling and killing his girlfriend. He was like, yo, I did some stupid shit, bro. I let my emotions get the best of me. You know, she my girl. He didn't want to go into too many details, but he strangled his girl and killed his, 16-year-old girl or whatever. And they gave him 25, or I don't know if it was 25 or 30 to life. I can't remember because it was a long time ago. But whatever he had, he like, yo, I got life, bro. They ain't never gonna let me out this shit for my crime. And bro, I just cried my fucking eyes out that night when he told me that, because me and him had got so tight. I'm thinking he got 5 years or something. Like, we gonna go home, see each other in the streets one day. Son like, yo, bro, I got 15 in life, and the nature of my crime, they ain't letting me out this shit, bro. I'm probably gonna do 35 years or something before I come home. And this nigga was 17 years old, bro. So that shit kind of crushed me. Yeah. You feel me? And that was my introduction to being in a maximum jail. Like, you next door to somebody, talking to them and shit. But little do you know, motherfuckers in here got 30 and 40 years, bro. So, my little 3 to 9 that I'm gonna do 6 of, I learned not to cry about that shit.
Right, yeah.
You feel me? Because motherfuckers ain't never coming home. You heard? So, I think about that. It was kids, teenagers, that they was turning them niggas lights out, bro, with life, 40 years, 50 years, you heard, in New York State. Now that shit is different. But I grew up in an era where they was turning niggas lights out at 16 years old.
Yeah, that's wild.
Period. You feel me?
I actually heard something even crazier than that. There was this girl, this 13-year-old girl. She got convicted of charged as an adult, convicted and sentenced to life. And I thought it was crazy, and it just kind of reminded me of that. But this girl, I guess, somehow trapped her whole entire family in the house and literally killed her entire family. And it's just such a messed up situation. I'm not a judge. I don't know what should happen or shouldn't happen, but to me it was just crazy that a 13-year-old girl is getting charged as an adult and going to jail for life.
Yeah, shit, wow, bro.
This girl's not even out of middle school yet, and her life's pretty much over. You know what I mean?
Shit, I got a 13-year-old daughter right now. You feel what I'm saying? So I can imagine my 13-year-old daughter don't know shit.
Right, exactly.
You feel what
That's
I'm
what I'm saying.
She don't know shit.
Imagine her think about what you were doing at
even
13.
16, bro. When I caught my case, I look back at this. When you're 16, you think you grown.
Yeah.
I look back at that shit. I was like, nigga, I was a fucking child. I didn't know nothing at 16 years old. And I got a 17-year-old daughter. So I'm like, imagine my 17-year-old daughter being on Rikers Island facing 25 to life. That shit is insane, my nigga. Because my 17-year-old daughter is into anime and fucking, you heard, My Hero Academia and shit, all of that shit like that.
Yeah.
So she not even thinking about a street, a crime. That shit is environment, bro. I grew up in a fucked up neighborhood that was redlined by the government, that was extremely poor, that was 75% on public assistance. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, redlined, forgot about, cut off from the rest of fucking New York. You heard, to this day, you go to my old hood, it's the worst part of New York City. Somebody gets shot and killed there every fucking day. You feel me? It ain't like the other parts of New York City where crime is down. Crime is down everywhere except for my hood and a couple of hoods in the Bronx. You feel me? And maybe Jamaica, Queens. But in my hood, this shit is crazy. You feel what I'm saying? And I grew up in a hood that was just cut off from the rest of fucking New York. And it's like a world within a world. You feel me? It's Brooklyn to the fifth power. We hear how tough Brooklyn is, but my hood, Brownsville, a lot of Brooklyn motherfuckers don't come to Brownsville. Right. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I grew up seeing a lot of stupid shit, looking up to a lot of fucking shit that I shouldn't have been looking up to. But when you grow up in these environments, this is what happens. You feel me? So it's like, it's a damn shame, but you had dudes that was 16 like me. I'm a fucking child, but I'm running around with a Mac 11 and a Tech 9 in the middle of a fucking concrete jungle. You heard, where niggas is getting knocked down each and every day, and I ended up in the penitentiary quick. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's not a game in these fucking streets. They should have eat you up and spit you out, nigga.
Yep.
Some people die quickly. I know a lot of motherfuckers that I grew up with that they ain't reached 16. You heard? They got murdered in these streets.
Oh yeah.
Straight up. You feel me? So it's like, yo, man, when you come from my hood, Brownsville, Brooklyn, even to be alive at my age, you won in life. Because niggas be out of here, bro. 17. I know motherfuckers that ain't. I know one of my mans got killed on his 15th birthday. You feel what I'm saying? Shot like 7, 8 times. You feel what I'm saying? Wrong person. They was looking for the wrong person, and they hit him 7, 8 times. You feel me? He was 15 fucking years old. You heard? I think about shit like that now that I'm a grown man, and I'm like, you know, none of that shit is cool, bro. It's fucking dysfunction.
Yep.
You feel me? It's dysfunction, and it's shit that needs to be cured in my community. You feel what I'm saying? Like, not, you know, glorified, but fucking cured.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, and Buffalo is the same fucking way. I see Buffalo
Yeah.
on the news all day. Fucking violence and drugs and killings and all of that shit. That shit is everywhere in this United States. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
But all of these places got terrible fucking hoods. You feel me? And it just produces crime and shit because motherfuckers is desperate. When you desperate, you do crime.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel
Yep.
me?
Yep.
Straight up. Yeah, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some heavy shit right there. That's true.
Yeah,
though.
growing up where you grew up had to be pretty wild, bro.
I actually do kind of have like a couple questions about where you grew up. So, Brownsville, like I've never been there. It's my first time being in New York City. But like, there's some pretty like famous people that came from Brownsville. Did you happen to like grow up with anybody that's like notable over there?
I mean,
Like-
shout out to the bro Shannon Briggs, 2-time world heavyweight champion. That's my guy. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't necessarily grow up with a lot of these dudes, but we all come from the same community. And
Right,
Brownsville is the type of place that when you know somebody else is from Brownsville, y'all family. Like
Right.
now that we made it out the streets, I could be anywhere. If a motherfucker say, yo, you from Brownsville? We family.
Yeah.
Because we grow up different. You know, it may be more, but you know, if it's at least 18 housing projects in a row.
Okay.
You feel me? Like 18 housing projects in a row. Some of the most notorious projects in the history of Brooklyn. You feel me? It's a crazy community. I grew up in the crack era when 14 and 15-year-olds was becoming fucking rich.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
and militarizing their hoods for this money.
Right.
So I grew up in a different era. If you look up 9192 New York crime stats, it's almost comical how crazy the city was in these times. So I grew up in the crack era in Brownsville, Brooklyn, which was completely different. Motherfuckers was getting murdered every day. You feel what I'm saying? Now, you know, it still goes down, but in the crack era, it was out of control. You feel
Right,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So, imagine 18 housing projects in a row while a new drug is out that's getting people rich. And at the same time, destroying motherfuckers,
Right.
destroying families. I seen crack take people that were upstanding citizens in the community with jobs, strict religious people, kids in Catholic schools and private schools. Somebody told me, I posted a skit today about with Jada Kiss song in it, and somebody left a comment and was like, yo, Jada Kiss was a private school dude, he's a fraud, because you know he recently did a podcast where his pops was like, yo, you was in private school or whatever. Just for the record, I know motherfuckers that went to Catholic schools and private schools that turned out to be murderers.
Yeah.
So that shit means nothing. You feel me? That shit means nothing when you in the hood. You heard?
Yeah.
I know people that tried to put their kids in Catholic school and they ended up in the hood knocking niggas the fuck down. You understand what I'm saying? So that shit means nothing. But I seen crack take people from being, hardworking, religious, God-fearing people to being addicted and they kids running the streets without parents knocking shit down. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like motherfuckers was like, hey, let's smoke crack. No, that shit was a trap where people thought that it wasn't as addictive as it was.
Right.
And that shit ruined their lives. You feel what I'm saying? And I seen it with my own two eyes, bro. You feel me? So family members and all. So it's like, that shit is deep. The story of crack is a whole movie in itself.
Yeah. I mean,
Feel me?
I definitely didn't grow up in a crack era, but I grew up in the hood, and I've definitely seen some shit like that. Like, I remember when I was growing up, you would see almost like a new batch of people that would grow up in like nice neighborhoods and end up doing whatever because they got addicted. You know what I mean? And it's super sad. But that's kind of like, I hate to say it, but that's par for the course, over there, you know what I mean? When you're like you said, when you're desperate, shit happens, you know what I mean? And that's where you get the crime and all that. Do you have any like crazy stories you want to talk about from like growing up back then and like,
I mean, crazy shit is, when you live in the hood, man, and you grow up in that shit becomes normalized.
Right.
You feel me? But so you look back later on in life and say, wow, that shit was fucking crazy. But when you growing up, it's just normal shit. Like I remember, growing up in Brownsville, that shit was regular, bro. It was like you living your regular life, but then when you out that hood, you like, wow, I was living in this shit. Like I always think back to this one particular time, right, where in the summertime and shit, we would go to the store and shit. It was a store that was a few blocks away from, where we used to hang out in the projects or whatever, across the street from the projects. But you had to walk through 2-3 blocks of the projects to get to that store. And I always remember this time, like, me and, one of my mans and his girlfriend at the time, we was walking to the store one night in the summertime, and we walked past a particular building where there was a payphone. Back in the days in the hood, it was payphones that people would call from jail and shit. Like you would be able to call the payphone. The payphone had its own number, and you would be able to call that payphone from anywhere. So anywhere there was a payphone like that, people hung around that shit. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because
yeah.
you never know who's gonna call from Rikers Island needing you to go do something or whatever. So, this one particular building in my projects, it had a payphone by it. So that's where a lot of motherfuckers hung out at and shit. And, one day we was walking to the store and shit, and somebody was standing by the payphone and he was arguing with somebody that was in the streets, parked in a car. And, they shooting shit back and forth like, fuck you talking about, nigga, fuck whatever, they talking to each other or whatever. And me and my man and his girl, we walk into the store, and motherfucker just, the bro just pulled out a gun, and he like, what the fuck you talking to? And the dude is in the car, he walks up to the car and just starts shooting the car, boom, 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 and shots just start flying everywhere. And me, my man, and his girl, we start running to the store, and we're fucking laughing our heads off. Like, you know what I mean? We laughing like, oh shit, and bullets is whizzing past our head, and somebody probably got murdered. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I look back at that time and I say, what the fuck was wrong with us? We was 15, 16, motherfuckers getting killed, bullets flying, and we running laughing like this shit is a joke in a game. You feel what I'm saying? When really this shit is out of control out here, my bro. And we need healing and we need some fucking help out here with this violence and these drugs and shit. But at 15, 16 years old, it was fun. It was fun to duck some bullets, get to the store, come back and tell people, yo, somebody just got murdered up the block. You feel what I'm saying? So this was the fucking dysfunction and mental illness that, you know, and mixed with trauma and PTSD and everything else, that we was living in the hood and we didn't even realize that shit, bro.
Right.
At 14, 15, 16 years old, this was normal shit to us. You heard ducking some bullets while we going to the store. Motherfucker might be dead on the block. You heard motherfucker might be on the run for a murder. You feel me? And it was just a trip to the store.
I definitely relate to that. I literally, like, as you're telling me that, I'm thinking about telling my cousins about some shit that happened literally, like, in front of my house. It was like, you know, a drive-by and what happened, and somebody ended up getting killed. And I remember being a kid going to tell my cousins, like, yo, you won't believe this shit, like, you know. And they're like horrified, like, if that shit happened to them in their neighborhood, they would have freaked the fuck out. But it was so normal that you don't even, like, realize, like, how dysfunctional it is.
Facts.
And you sit back, like, you know, I have those moments where I sit back and I think about my childhood and the shit I've seen. It's like...
And Paul itself, I made a mistake. Now that I'm thinking about that story, it was another dude that was with us. My man Will, a.k.a. Head, rest in peace. He was with us too. And he was the cousin of my man's girl. And we was running. He was from Harlem and he used to come to Brownsville to visit his family.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is, like, we was running that day, we was laughing. He was one of the dudes laughing with us. We was like, yo, that shit was crazy. And then when I got locked up, I called home one day and I was like, yo, what up with niggas, man? Niggas was like, yo, son, remember Will had? I said, yeah, what up? He was like, yo, he got murdered the other day in front of 300. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And dudes explained to me what happened. Some shit happened. He ain't have nothing to do with something. Somebody went on a angry rage and they shot and killed him. You feel me? Just to do it. You feel me? He was family. He was family to somebody that another person was arguing with at the time, and he was there, and he got shot in his head and killed. And that's what made me always think about that time, because he was there, and we was laughing like it was a fucking game about this gun shit. And he ended up, soon as I got locked up, months later, he ended up getting shot and killed. And I think about that, I said, damn, we was running from them shots and ducking them shots, laughing like it was a game, and it eventually claimed one of my mans. You feel what I'm saying? I forgot that element in the story, but that's what made that story so deep. One of my mans that was running with us, that wasn't even from the hood, he got killed and lost his life very violently. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that shit fucked me up when dudes told me that. I was in the pen, like, yo, the nigga Will got killed. I was like, what?
That's crazy.
You feel me? I said, damn. So, you know, when you be with somebody and chill with somebody, and then you think about them getting shot in their head and killed, it fucks you up. As a teen, you a teenager, like, you feel me? And then one of my other mans from that I used to hang out with got killed. And it's like I'm in jail just hearing about all my childhood niggas getting killed. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit will fuck you up, bro. You feel me? And you realize, like, all right, this street shit, it really is for the birds.
Oh, yeah, for
You
sure.
feel me? You really will lose your loved ones and people you care about. They'll be dead. And they can't come back. And I think about one of my mans that got killed at 17. This was my fucking dude. You heard he got killed at 17 years old. And sometimes I think about that shit. That shit breaks me fucking down in tears. And I be like, where's these fucking crazy tears coming from? It's trauma that's buried in motherfuckers. You feel me?
Yeah.
My man got killed at 17. He could have been a fucking NBA star. He was one of the nastiest niggas in basketball ever. Rest in peace, my bro Kane, a.k.a. Chicken. You heard he got killed at like 17 years old, 18 maybe. I was in the pen. This was my fucking man. You feel what I'm saying? We went to school together. We went to graphic arts together. He ended up getting killed in these streets over some real stupid shit. You feel me? Bullshit. Shit that could have been avoided. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just fucked up, bro. You know, one day I was talking to my baby moms. I felt stupid. So I was talking to my baby moms, and I just started thinking about my man, and I broke down in fucking tears like a little kid. And I felt ashamed, like, damn, I just bawled out in tears and started crying like a little fucking kid. But it was trauma that I never really spoke about this shit to somebody, you feel me, and it fucked me up, man. You heard, but rest in peace, my nigga Chicken. You heard from Howard Projects, Barcelona, 260. You heard, that's my son forever.
Rest
You heard,
in peace to him, man.
word. But yeah, man, I ain't trying to get too fucking emotional on y'all niggas, but yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. Sorry for your
I'm
loss.
sorry
man.
for everything you've been through too, bro. For real. You know, you've been through a lot, man. But you keeping your head up and you still being goofy lads.
Yeah, man. You
know what I'm saying?
You gotta have a sense of humor in this fucking world, bro. This world is crazy.
For sure.
This world is crazy. It's full of surprises, always some bullshit.
And you gotta have
Yeah.
something that, and that's the thing, is like, that's what makes it worth it for you. You know what I mean? I was talking to one of my boys the other day, and he kind of explained to me, we had like a little heart to heart, and he kind of told me like what makes everything worth it for him, you know? Because my buddy's got a lot of shit going on in his life, and he's always fucking happy. Always a happy dude, always, dude that will fucking cheer you up and all that, but everybody's got like their own things that cheer him up or get him through it and all that. For him it was like thinking about like it was honestly food, like certain foods. He'd be looking forward to like his wife making some, I don't even remember what kind of stuff he was talking about, but he'd be looking forward to like eating different meals, or like, what he was gonna have for lunch that day.
You know, the miraculous shit about human beings, bro, is that no matter what we go through, it's in our nature to be happy.
Yep.
You feel me? No matter what the fuck you go through in life, you will find yourself smiling and laughing a few days later, no matter what. You feel me? And it's crazy, but it's some miraculous shit that we have to appreciate about human beings. We find a way to be happy.
Oh yeah,
You
for
feel
sure.
me? So when a person is suffering from like depression and shit like that, it's a serious thing, bro. Because as humans, we no matter who you lose, what you lose, after a few days, you'll find yourself smiling again. You feel what I'm saying? And that's some beautiful shit about life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
feel
definitely.
me?
Yeah, for sure, man. Damn. Well, dude, I think we talked about a lot here, man.
Yeah, we kind
I
of got
think-
into everything. Like,
I learned a lot about you. You know what I mean? Obviously, Taco told us, everything he could tell us in maybe a shorter period of time. You know what I'm saying? And I follow you on social media. Dave follows you on social media. You know what I mean? So we watch your story and stuff like that. But there's a lot of stuff we didn't know about you today, bro. And it was really nice to get to dig deep in with you, bro. In New York City too, which is super dope. So we really appreciate having you on here, bro.
That's a
Like,
whole
yeah,
fact.
definitely.
we
It was a
appreciate
pleasure
you
to have you on.
going
for
out
sure.
of your way to sit in on an episode and everything, bro.
I
For real.
appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all feeling like I'm the type of person that you could do a podcast about. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm blessed with shit like that. I'm just happy people want to hear my story.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
It's a
you
whole
definitely one of those people. People want to hear stuff from, whether it's like your story, your past experiences, but also like your creative ideas with like the funny shit and like the content and all that. So, yeah, man, we were definitely happy to have you on for sure.
No doubt, bro. And anytime y'all pull up in New York City, you already know we get an episode in.
Oh yeah,
I got a million things to talk about.
Yeah, bro.
Word up.
That's dope, bro.
all right, well,
Yeah,
you
we
on.
appreciate you, lads.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the whole Buffalo. Conway, I'm not mad at you no more. You heard, me and Conway had a little fallout.
over some business. Westside Gun, me and Westside Gun was beefing on Instagram for a long time. That's a funny motherfucker. But overall, Griselda, I respect y'all niggas' bar game. I respect what the fuck y'all contributed to hip hop. Y'all gave upstate New York the biggest look they ever had in life. You feel what I'm saying? And y'all some dope motherfuckers. You heard Conway's a dope motherfucker. We made a couple of diss songs at each other. If you look them up, you heard. But I respect niggas, man. I respect niggas. I respect Buffalo. I was locked up with a couple of good Buffalo motherfuckers. And it's a lot of talent in that city that's undiscovered. And y'all motherfuckers better start realizing that Buffalo, just like New York City, they got some talented motherfuckers out there. You heard, and you better tap in. That's a fact.
Yeah, man. Well, shit, yo. This is the Buffalo Experience podcast. I'm Oteeks.
I'm rolling with Big Dave.
LAZ, like I said, Z-Man Suicide Polo with the ski man running around the hood like He-Man at 3 a.m. with 3 swams, looking for a dude that ran off for 3 grams. Open up your window, listen carefully. You might hear 3 blams over that motherfucking money. You heard? Z-Lord. Shout out to my bro King Taco, the next R&B superstar. You heard?
You heard?
You heard? Yo, peace
Hell
out,
yeah.
y'all.
Peace.
Deuces.